Let me move on now to the Chief Press Secretary of the Osun State Government, Mr. Ismail OMIPIDAN. Are you there, sir?
Yes, I'm there. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you. Could you give us an update on what's happening concerning food supply to your state, given all that's happened in the recent times?
Thank you very much. Let me start off this way. That one, as a government, we believe very strongly that we need each other as Nigerians. And my principal has always maintained the fact that we should not, under whatever guise, under whatever circumstances, ethnicize criminality. That criminality has no religious or ethnic coloration. Criminals should be treated as criminals. Having said that, if we look at our state, for example, what are the staple foods here? What do we eat? Pounded yam, gari, eko, the one we call udi, either eko or udi. Then rice and beans. Now, if you look at all of these food items, how many are produced in the north?
Beans.
Although we may have issues with maybe tomato and onions, but as a government that is very, very proactive, long even before this crisis, we had invested heavily in our agricultural sector. For instance, as I speak to you, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, we are doing 10,000 hectares where we create farm settlements in all the 3 senatorial districts across the state. We already have one in Osun West, located in Ede. Only about 2 weeks ago, Mr. Governor was there physically to harvest some of the tomatoes. And during our second harvest, we had about 130 kg of tomato. And as I speak to you today, we are going for the 3rd harvest. Again, we already have in our state one of the biggest tomato company in the southwest called Farm Connect. It's located in Wasimi, somewhere very close to Ikire. Now, already, although they have not started processing their tomato, but they are already harvesting and selling. And it's located, they are already harvesting and selling. And in the long run,
Sir,
they hope to also process.
If I get you correctly, that Osun State can confidently feed itself, what about your meat?
Well, as per our meat, we have what we call OBOPS. That is Osun State Broilers Outgrowers program. Now, we believe very strongly that that will be an alternative to red meat. Don't also forget that even red meat is not too good for our health. So we are looking at it, and I recall very strongly that even long before now, some of my northern friends, a very big farmer in Kaduna, had told me, then I didn't believe it until I found out that most of the eggs that are eaten in the north come from the south. That was like,
let me go on a quick,
I think about 6-7 years ago.
Let me go on a quick break, sir. I have to go on a quick break. I'll come back to you. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So before the break, we had the CPS of Osun State telling us that, chicken, they are sufficient. They have tomato, plenty. They have chicken. They don't want to eat meat. No problem. But let me come to another guest, and I'll come to CPS. I'll come back to you unless you have a question for him.
No, I want to ask
the Commissioner for Information.
I want to ask the same CPS before going to Commissioner for Information quickly. The CPS, we know that beans is largely important. See, when we say that when you make statement like was sufficient, you're not taking cognizance of the fact that we already have intertrade. That even though you are producing tomatoes, does not mean that your local market isn't buying tomatoes that are brought in. So what's the current situation on ground? Like, are you aware of the impact of the past few days on the financial, the price of these items, your beans, your tomatoes? How has the price been? And
to add to CPS, are you there? To add to Tokwe's question, because from Lagos State is not saying, oh, don't worry, I'm sufficient to. Lagos is saying we are having a conversation. So would you say Osun State is trying to have a conversation to resolve it, not to say, oh, don't worry, we don't even need it, we are okay? Because that's what is coming across to us.
No, the point I'm trying to make, I'm not saying that if you look at my opening remarks, I made it very clear that we need each other to survive as Nigerians.
Yes.
I established that.
Yes, you did.
2, what we are doing is not necessarily in response to the current situation. But I'm saying that long before now, we started working towards food security, food sufficiency. And that the efforts we have put in place so far, this is what it has generated so far. That is the point I'm trying to make. I'm not saying that, oh, no, these people can go to hell, we can feed them. No, that is not the point I'm making.
Okay.
However, the fact remains that what happened, just like COVID-19, was not something that was envisaged by anybody. And usually when things like that happen, the first thing you do is how to contain it first. Then you take further proactive steps to ensure that it does not happen again. That is the point I am trying to make.
All right.
However, in our own state here, to the best of my knowledge, we do not have the type of crisis that necessitated what happened in our sister states.
Okay. All right.
However, because we're also part of the Southwest,
right,
there's hardly anything that will happen in any of the neighboring states that will not have effect in our state.
All right.
But from day one, we made it very clear that we are also working towards ensuring that rather than go to Lagos to do business, Osun will be your choice destination.
Okay. All right. Thank you.